Hey guys, and welcome to my stimulus package update and stimulus check update. Wow, I haven't said those words in so long. I want you guys to know that I missed you more than you missed me, and I'm happy I'm back here for you with another video just to give you my perspective on everything that's been going on.
On this vote, the ayes are 260, the nays are 170. Considers laid on the table.
So there you have it, you guys, and that was late last night. Now, link in the description below to this article that came out that's going to give us a little more detail that says, House passes a sweeping $1.5 trillion omnibus spending bill. And it says the House passed a sweeping $1.5 trillion omnibus spending package on Wednesday night to fund the government, hours after lawmakers had scrapped billions in funding to combat the pandemic amid resistance from Democrats upset about the plans to yank already allocated relief from states. And as you guys know, here on the channel, I report to you stimulus checks for states, counties, and cities. That is coming from those funds. $350 billion that was allocated to the American Rescue Plan, and states, counties, and cities are passing their own packages, in many cases their own checks. Well, they're saying that it was misappropriated, not everybody got the money, and there was a lot of fraud issues, and there was just a lot of mishandling of those funds. Well, right now, while they're trying to pass this omnibus bill, they took a look and said, look, that $350 billion, there's still tons of leftover money, billions of dollars. Let's just take that and we'll use it in here to pass more additional pandemic aid. And they said, no, we are not going to allow that, because there's a lot of states, counties, and cities that never got the money they were supposed to get. That assistance is supposed to be for us. We will not allow this to go through. We will vote it down because of all the mishandling and a lot of people not getting their money. Well, so that is exactly what happened, and Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi had to yank that out of the omnibus bill in order to get passed through what they did last night in the House of Representatives. Now, reading on, it says, the last-minute revolt over the pandemic funding from Democrats that were angered over the GOP demanded offset upended a delicately negotiated package between congressional leaders of both parties. So both parties, they said this had bipartisan support. They tried to push this through, and then when lawmakers saw what they were trying to do with the reallocated funds, it upended everything, and it caused last-minute changes. Now, as a part of those bipartisan negotiations, the House passage of the omnibus package, which funded the federal government through September, was split into two votes so that lawmakers could register specific support for the defense spending portions. Now, the House first voted 361 to 69 to back funding for the Pentagon, Department of Homeland Security, and other national security priorities, and then a 260 to 171 vote with just one Democrat, Rashida Tlaib, voting present to adopt the provisions largely related to domestic programs. Congress faces a crunch to get the legislation to President Biden for his signature since the current federal funding expires this Friday. They have to get this done by this week, or we could be looking at a government shutdown. Now, lawmakers also passed a stopgap measure by voice vote that lasts until Tuesday to ensure that the Senate has enough time to clear the omnibus package without risking a government shutdown. So, in order for them to make the deadline, they are putting another stopgap funding bill, just kicking the can down the road. Sounds like till the 15th, till Tuesday, to go ahead and make sure there's no shutdown. Now, this omnibus package, it includes about $14 billion in emergency funding to boost humanitarian, security, and economic assistance for Ukraine, so showing that support for Ukraine, and also Central European allies in response to the Russian invasion, as lawmakers on both sides of the push for more support to Ukraine. The legislation was delayed for several hours after a number of Democrats came out against plans to repurpose previously allocated funds from the state government to help finance federal pandemic response efforts. So they had to yank that out, otherwise they weren't going to be able to get this funding to help support Ukraine. I'm not going to tolerate that. If they can pull that out, we might be able to move forward, said Representative Brenda Lawrence. She said this before the bill moved to the floor, while noting that her state would be affected by the plans. Now, also, negotiators included more than $15 billion in pandemic supplemental funding in an earlier version of the package unveiled at 1:30 a.m. on Wednesday, so the night before, another late night after the White House last week called for lawmakers to authorize $22.5 billion to bolster federal federal pandemic efforts. Now, a White House official warned Wednesday that there will be dire consequences from stripping the pandemic aid it requested from the package. Without additional pandemic response resources, the results are going to be dire. In March, testing capacities will decline. In April, the uninsured fund, which offers coverage of testing and treatments of tens of millions of Americans who lack health insurance, it will run out of money. And in May, American supplies of monoclonal antibodies will run out. Simply put, failing to take action now will have severe consequences for the American people, the White House official said. So you guys, they pulled that out, but we're going to be seeing, they're still saying they've got to pass this. And we also heard it asked yesterday, will this be included in the stimulus reconciliation bill? We heard Nancy Pelosi say, kind of give a response that was like, no. But we will see, because they're saying that they still need to get this through. We will see if they'll be able to pass it by some bipartisan means. But as it stands right now, doesn't look like it's going to happen unless Republicans are not going to get on board unless they're able to reallocate existing funds. And right now, Democrats are saying that they're not going to allow it because not everything was allocated the way it was supposed to be. So we will see. Now, in addition to that, link in the description below to this article that another bill was passed in the House of Representatives banning Russian oil imports. And it says the House passed legislation on Wednesday to ban imports of Russian oil and authorize further sanctions following a similar executive order from President Biden. Lawmakers passed the bill on a bipartisan basis, 414 to 17. So across the board, pretty much agreeing to get this through. Only 15 Republicans and 2 Democrats. And right now, Democrats are saying that they're not going to allow it because not everything was allocated the way it was supposed to be. So we will see. Now, in addition to that, link in the description below to this article that another bill was passed in the House of Representatives banning Russian oil imports. And it says the House passed legislation on Wednesday to ban imports of Russian oil and authorize further sanctions following a similar executive order from President Biden. Lawmakers passed the bill on a bipartisan basis, 414 to 17. So across the board, pretty much agreeing to get this through. Only 15 Republicans and 2 Democrats voted against the bill. Now, the vote now puts members of both parties on record backing an action that is likely to further increase gas prices, which are already reaching record levels in the United States due to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Now, as of Wednesday, the average price of regular gas was $4.25 a gallon, up about 60 cents from a week ago. And just a month ago, the average price was $3.47. So you guys, this is skyrocketing, and this ban on Russian oil we are hearing is just going to cause it to go up further, so brace yourselves. Now, the vote to ban the imports on Russian energy is effectively symbolic, since it follows President Biden's move on Tuesday to target one of Russia's main sources of wealth, but it highlighted a rare area of bipartisanship unity between Democrats and Republicans. So as we mentioned, they already had executive orders. This is basically symbolic, showing that the American lawmakers in Congress, they support Ukraine. They do not support what Russia's doing. But you guys, we are going to be seeing higher oil and gas prices, but very happy to show the support for the people of Ukraine at this time.
Alright guys, this is all I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really missed you. Hopefully I'll see you here again very, very soon. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on everything we talked about here in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you all. Please hit the like button on the video, share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notifications bell to be notified whenever I publish new videos for you. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.